Marjorie Greene is now trying to show the world that she's not gonna just follow with everything the Republicans in the House want, or even Donald Trump wants. Maybe trying to set herself up as a little bit more independent for a possible Senate run, which we're gonna check in on again tomorrow on the show. And so she posted a tweet of some of the things she disagrees with the Republicans on. And here is a shot of the tweet. And I think we can all agree what the hell is going on Twitter. That's longer than any short story I've ever released on my Patreon. For a person who seems to know so few words, how does she write so many of them? But anyway, I do agree with some of what she says here, but disagree with a lot. And so you might have seen going around that there's this Republican bill to try to criminalize boycotts against Israel. So she doesn't think we should do that. So that's good. There's this brewing desire for a war with Iran. She references that here. I can't find it because it's 10,000 words, but it's somewhere in that message. And thank you. And she's against that, which is good. I'm also against that. So that's consistent. She said she's anti-war and she's against that war. I don't see much out of her about invading Greenland or Panama or Canada or northern Mexico. So I'm not sure that she's the ideological purist on being anti-war that she thinks she is, but that's all good. And then she undercuts it a little bit. I mean, she says that the efforts to stop COVID under Trump were communist and tyrannical. Does she know who was the president at that point? Communist and tyrannical. She says basically the vaccine's been discredited. It's killed potentially millions of people, which is the craziest thing maybe since Pam Bondi said that the fentanyl Trump stop would have killed 75% of the American population. And so some of this is good, but then she declares that Zelensky's a dictator because he's canceling elections. How many times has she cheered for Trump saying he's gonna run in 2028? Is she wearing a Trump 2028 hat right now? And so again, there's either no thought or no consistency, no backbone. And then there's insane things like this. She says, one of the biggest issues in the nation that I have fought for, and early on I was one of the only ones that took a loud screaming stand, which is true, she was screaming, is the evil transgender assault against our children. Like, dear God, there is not a Republican influencer or politician in America that has not made that the centerpiece of everything they've said over the last 4 years, and she wants credit for it. And so a lot of it's insane. Some of it is weirdly self-obsessed. She says near the end, and I passed out at some point reading it, and I woke up and I wiped the blood away from under my nose, and then I got to the end, and it says, when you are losing MTG, you are losing the base. Get all of the way out of your own ass, Jesus. Man, is she a big fan of herself. And she says, and Trump isn't on the ballot in the future, so do the math on that. Which I could interpret that a couple ways, Jaron, and that's where I wanna bring you in. Is she saying that she's the natural successor to Trump? Is she saying we won't have Trump to boost us, so we need to do popular things, which would be reasonable? Or is she saying we won't have Trump to rig the elections soon? I'm not even sure what point she's making there, but what do you think of this effort of hers to pitch herself as an independent?
Yeah, it's as you mentioned, I think it's the last ditch effort, or not last ditch, but it's an effort to go towards this run for the Senate. Again, that's why there's trying to be this, it's marketing for when you lose MTG, like of course, whenever there's certain initials that people identify you by. AOC, it works for her, so MTG, it works for her. So she's trying to market that to have some kind of run for more power. That's really all it is. And the reason why she wrote something so long with some things that make some sense is because she knew her base wouldn't read it. So, if she's not screaming about it on Twitter or somewhere, then they're not paying any attention. So they definitely gloss over anything that makes any sense. But definitely, like if I'm the first one I was the first biggest hater for trans folks ever. I'm the one who don't think certain humans should live. How is that a cry for you being a leader in a country that proposes freedom? It's upside down world, but that's somehow what she thinks is a winning argument. And sadly, it just might be because her name is big enough and she says MTG enough times. And then people will be like, oh yeah, MTG's running for Senate, MTG, SEN, why not? None of it makes any sense. We're living in a cartoonish world. So it's a pitch, who knows? And if it works for her, none of the things that make any sense she'll have any championing towards anyway, because that is too much work for her. She likes to yell instead.
It would be, is it more embarrassing to have her as a senator than Trump as a president? Probably not. But it just, man, that shows how far the bar has fallen that she can be in the conversation. That said, not that much in the conversation. We're gonna remind you of the polling tomorrow on the show when Luke Beasley joins us.